going to start off with Scott this hour in Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I work for a company that I get 10% of my salary, the ability to purchase company stock. The stock has been very, very fruitful over the 10 years that I've worked for the company. The way our stock purchase works is that we get to purchase the 10% of our salary twice a year in a 6-month period at 15% below the lowest point in that 6-month period. So the sometimes when I get the stock at the 6 months, it can be $40, $50 a share better than the market value at the time. When I read Baby Steps Millionaire and The Money Makeover, you talk more about putting your retirement into mutual funds. I've kind of considered that 10% as being my part of my retirement. I take 16% out of my total salary with 6% in a 401k that my company matches. And then the other 10% is in company stock. And the stock has done nothing but gain in the 9 years that I've been there, and some big jumps as well. So do I leave that in there and consider that still 10% of my retirement, or do I switch it like you talk about in The Money Makeover to mutual funds?
Well, congratulations. Sounds like you've hit a home run, man. It feels kind of good. And so, your theory has not been stress tested yet. And that'll come along. Okay. First, let me give you a couple observations first. Number one, your company stock purchase plan is no different than most of them. They're almost all exactly what you described. 15% below, lowest of the 6-month average, whatever. Okay. And so it's not like you're getting some huge discount that other people that work for a publicly traded company with stock options don't get. It's almost always exactly what you outlined. Very, very similar, if not. So it's good, but it's not the biggest deal. In most cases, if you look at a 52-week high, 52-week low on the charts, you will see a move of most stocks more than 15% up or down. And so that 15% discount can, as you said, because it's down, cause a great purchase price, but it also can cause, it can evaporate in about an eye blink, just because of the normal volatility of stock. Observation number one. Observation number two, single stocks are more risky than mutual funds.
Okay.
Period. No exceptions. Because you're violating the diversification rule of, you got all your eggs in one basket, or at least that number of eggs are all in that one basket. So you're taking more risk, even though you've had the benefit of this company doing very well. It's gone up, gone up, gone up. I'm happy for you. I'm glad it went up. I don't want you to have hard times. But that can gloss over the fact that you're taking risk because you haven't had a loss. You've not anything that scared you, that woke you up and went, oh, this is risky. So what we tell folks to do, our standard rule of thumb, is don't put more than 10% of your net worth in single stocks. And you currently have more than that with the formula you're giving me.
Okay.
So the example of that always comes back to my mind was many years ago. I was coaching a lady that had worked for Procter & Gamble, which is a fine company. She had $800,000 in her 401k. It was all in company stock. It went in half the year she retired.
So none of my 401k is in, I work for Apple, is in Apple stock.
Jesus, that's a wonderful stock, yeah.
The stock purchase is a total separate deal. And to be honest with you, Dave, I haven't, I'm recently divorced a couple of years, and I was lucky to get out and be debt-free. And, I've never really read your books because I didn't have any debt. But after watching you with Robert Morris, I downloaded the first book and then went to the second book, and it really motivated me to kind of get my act together.
Yeah. So Ecclesiastes says, spread your portions to 7, yes to 8, for disaster may come upon the land. And Apple is about as wonderful a single stock story as there is on the planet.
Yeah.
It's doubled. It's doubled.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Over the 10 years.
Wonderful.
I did have to get rid of some of it.
They have more money than Egypt. They really do.
I don't know what.
They actually have more cash than Egypt. It's an incredible company.
Hey, you mentioned you read the first 2 books and that you originally had kind of stayed away because you weren't in debt, but I recommend you pick up Baby Step Millionaires. Maybe
He did. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I did. I read both of the books. I've actually listened to probably 3 times each.
Well, thank you. So the whole question is, how much risk do you want to take? And I think we can all stand up and cheer and say Apple has done a wonderful job. Of all the single stocks out there, it's the one that might be the most tempting. It is an unbelievable story. But I'm just risk averse enough to say, okay, I'm going with the scripture says spread my portions to 7, yes to 8. I don't want my whole deal on one company. And you don't have your whole deal, but you got a lot of it. And so I'm probably going to be a little less Apple prone if I'm you. If I was ever going to do what you're doing, it would be that company. Oh my God, it's wonderful. Okay. So, if you want to keep doing it, keep doing it. I just want you to hear loud. I want you to feel that you're violating the diversification principle, and that does nothing but increase risk inherently in that. One bad iPhone launch, one bad lawsuit over a tablet or whatever. I don't know what can happen. I mean, I have no idea what can happen, but they get cancel cultured. I don't know how this works, but whatever it is, I just don't want. It's not in your control. You're one of a bazillion employees. You don't control this stock. And so I wouldn't be as heavy in it as you are, but I will acquiesce and say if I was ever going to be, good Lord, there, the financial regardless of what you think of the products or the people or anything else, the financials on that company are blistering good.
Yeah, that's a great position to be in.
It's
good
crazy.
Company. Yeah.
It's crazy how much cash they have. It's mind-blowing. But aside from that, I'm sitting here saying how much I'm a fanboy of their stock, and I don't own a single share. That says I follow the principles. I don't buy single stocks at all, and if I was going to, it wouldn't be more than 10% of my net worth. You can do what you want to do, but I'm not doing it. Thanks for the call.